Now we are going to recap bonds present between monomers of a polymer. Separately, one heading was given in your textbook, that is nature of bonds between monomers in a polymer was given. So what about that nature of bonds in polymer? Okay, briefly I will discuss. Already I gave complete information about those things, and again we will discuss. Okay, so what about nature of bonds between monomers? Monomers in a polymer. In a polymer. So what are the bonds present? Already we studied a certain number of bonds: ester bond, peptide bond, glycosidic bond, N-glycosidic bonds. Okay, so what about those bonds? Okay, so first one, okay, so first one, ester bond, phosphodiester bond. Okay, what about total is for you? It okay. So what about a phosphodiester bond? So here required content is this bond is present in first according to our NEET examination. Phosphodiester bond, it is present in nucleic acids. Present in nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. DNA and RNA. Present in nucleic acids. In that nucleic acid, what about the location of this bond? In nucleic acids, what about the role of this phosphodiester bond? So this bond is concerned with linking of phosphate. P means phosphate. Linking of phosphate and sugar molecule. Linking of phosphate, inorganic phosphate and ribose sugar. Ribose sugar molecule. So as it is concerned with the linking of phosphate and sugar molecule, definitely it is very important for the formation of backbone of nucleic acid. What is backbone of nucleic acid? So it is required for the formation of, so it is Yeah, this type of description is very essential to attempt any question possible in the case of NEET out of the given content given in your textbook. It is required for the formation of backbone of nucleic acids. Now we have to know what is a backbone. Okay, so here backbone of nucleic acids is equal to alternately arranged phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar chain. That chain is called as a backbone. So backbone of nucleic acids. Okay, so simply I'm giving here. This is a backbone of DNA strand 1, backbone of DNA strand 2. Okay, here one phosphate molecule, ester bond, sugar molecule, phosphate, bond, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, like that. So this is a backbone of any nucleic acid. Okay, right? Now what about the formation of that bond? How bond is established between those two? Formation of phosphodiester bond. So take one phosphate molecule here. On that day already I discussed, again I'm discussing. Okay, so here OH molecule, double bond O and OH. This one involve the formation of ester bond. Okay, sugar molecule, ribose, sugar molecule, first carbon atom, second one, third one, fourth one, and here is fifth one, fifth carbon atom. So at the third end, third carbon atom OH free. So here CH2OH, CH2OH. Okay, so OH and hydrogen atom, remove it. So this bond is called as one ester bond. At which carbon atom? Fifth carbon atom. So this is a one ester bond. Here how many H2O molecules evolved or produced? One molecule of H2O. Okay, right? One molecule of H2O. One molecule of H2O. Still blurring. Reflection. Two ester bonds. Fifth carbon, now third carbon. Sugar molecule, carbon atom 1, 2, and third carbon atom here, hydrogen and OH. Okay, so OH and hydrogen removed. So this bond. second ester bond 2. Here also one molecule of H2O. Okay, so now these two collectively called as, so two ester bonds coming from are produced by one phosphate molecule. Now these two bonds collectively called as phosphodiester bond. Okay, so phosphodiester bond. So each phosphate is able to produce how many maximum number of ester bonds? Two ester bonds. These two collectively called as phosphodiester bonds. Okay, so this bond is produced by dehydration. Dehydration. It is formed by dehydration. Right? Should not be blurred today. Now, okay. Now you can speak to me.
No, sir.
It's still bar.
Sir, your voice also breaking, sir. Your voice also is breaking, sir.
What happened today?
Sir, it's blur.
Your signal
Still
is not
Nothing
correct,
is
sir.
visible, sir. Sir, nothing is visible.
Sir, your signal is not correct.
So from 10 minutes, it is same, sir.
Yes,
Wait,
sir.
wait.
Where you
Wait.
started bonding, from there it's totally blur, sir.
Yeah, wait. Okay. I'm checking network. Wait. Wi-Fi was switched off. Somebody. Wait. Hang on, please. Now check it. I think now you are getting it. Right? Anybody? Speak out.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, but it is reflecting, sir.
Light just reflecting, sir.
ఒకసారి ఈ లైట్ బంద్ చేయవా ఈ టూ లైట్స్ అదేవా ఈ టూ లైట్స్ బంద్ చేయవా ఆ లైట్ అదే బంద్ చేస్తాం అదొకటి
Hello, sir.
Yes, wait. Yes, now okay.
Sir, left side it's blur. It is reflecting, sir. Now.
Now check it.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. It's okay now.
Now you will get it.
Better.
Yes,
Now
sir.
okay. Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once again, listen, no problem. Phosphodiester bond is present in nucleic acids, both DNA and RNA. So this bond is concerned with the linking of phosphate with ribose sugar. So linking of phosphate with sugar molecule. Next, it is required for the formation of backbone of nucleic acids. What is that backbone of nucleic acids? Alternately arranged phosphate sugar chain. So alternately present phosphate and sugar are linked by ester bonds. And that ester bond is formed by dehydration, by the elimination of one H2O molecule. So each phosphate molecule is able to produce two ester bonds. Two ester bonds coming from one phosphate molecule collectively called as phosphodiester bond. And this phosphate is linked to two successive sugars. For example, first bond at the fifth carbon atom linked to this sugar. Next, the second bond linked to third carbon at third carbon in the second sugar molecule. So here the purpose of formation of ester bond is to link two successive ribose sugar molecules. And these two are produced by means of dehydration only. Like that, the capacity of phosphate in that DNA or RNA is able to produce two ester bonds only. If water is added, we can digest the ester bond. Okay. So, and one more statement we can write in DNA and RNA, these ester bonds are formed at which carbon atom of sugar? So, this bond is at third carbon atom and fifth carbon atom of sugar. Okay. So that is about a phosphodiester bond. Take it, copy it. Okay. Now I'm erasing the board. Completed. Next, second one, N-glycosidic bond. Okay, so now what about the purpose of N-glycosidic bond and where it is present? It is present in nucleic acids, present in nucleic acids. And within the nucleic acid, where is the location of that one? So it is present in between sugar and nitrogen base. Sugar and nitrogen base. Now, what is the purpose of N-glycosidic bond? Formation of, it is required for the formation of nucleoside. Nucleoside formation, nucleoside. For example, sugar bond adenine. Okay, so this bond is a N-glycosidic bond. And this bond also formed by, it is formed by dehydration, formed by dehydration by the elimination of water. Now, we have to look into how this bond is established. Okay, so here I'm taking one sugar molecule. Ribose sugar. Both deoxyribose and ribose sugar, both are same. Bond formation is both in the case of deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar. OH, H, OH, first carbon atom. So take adenine molecule. Some purine, adenine or guanine. Okay, so already I told you numbering on that day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So ninth one, nitrogen atom with one hydrogen. Okay, OH hydrogen atom, remove it. One molecule of H2O. So this is N-glycosidic bond. So in this case, the bond is in between first carbon atom of sugar, bond nitrogen atom at ninth position in purines. In purines, both adenine and guanine. So this is a N-glycosidic bond. Okay, right? Any objection? Already we discussed. Again, I'm discussing this one to command the topic. So that's about a N-glycosidic bond here. And what about in the case of pyrimidines? Now take sugar molecule. Hydrogen, OH, pyrimidine. Okay, third nitrogen, H. Hydrogen, OH, remove it. Right? So here, N-glycosidic bond, first carbon atom and nitrogen at third position in the case of pyrimidines. Okay, so that is about N-glycosidic bond. For the formation of adenosine, guanosine, cytidine, uridine, thymidine, that bond is required. Okay, is it clear? Right? Next. One more similar bond. Third one. Now I'm taking glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond. Okay, so this bond present between monomeric sugars present in polysaccharides. Present between monomeric sugars present in polysaccharides. So linking two monomeric sugars in a polysaccharide. And it is also formed by dehydration. Okay, so what about a glycosidic bond? Here I'm taking one type of bond only. In the case of glucose, in the case of starch, cellulose, glycogen, 1,4 linkage I'm taking. Okay, so carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here sixth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth one. See, bond is here. Hydrogen, OH, hydrogen, OH. Okay, OH removed and one hydrogen atom. So bond O. Here also one molecule of H2O produced. So here what about N-glycosidic bond? Here first carbon atom of this sugar, first carbon atom of that sugar. Okay, bond oxygen, bond carbon atom at fourth position. One carbon, first carbon, oxygen, fourth carbon. So simply CO bond C. Okay, 1,4. Yes, OH and hydrogen atom. One OH and hydrogen atom. One OH is coming from one sugar molecule and hydrogen atom is coming from next sugar molecule. Okay, right? Is it clear? One OH from fourth carbon atom and out of OH here only hydrogen. OH, hydrogen, H2O. Okay, so that is about a glycosidic bond. And that is the difference between N-glycosidic bond and a glycosidic bond. ఏం పిల్లగాడివిరా బాబు, ఇక్కడ OH ఉందిరా, ఇక్కడ OH, ఇక్కడ OH. OH హైడ్రోజన్ ది. Oxygen present, one oxygen atom. OH, OH, OH plus hydrogen, H2O. One oxygen atom is there. Okay. Right. Now I am erasing the board. Right. Clear? See, once again, for you, I am giving here sugar molecule, one glucose molecule. Okay, so hydrogen OH and take one more sugar glucose molecule. Here also HOH. Okay, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, OH plus hydrogen atom. So one molecule of H2O and take that O here. Okay, so that is a glycosidic bond. Okay, got this one? So here linkage is 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Okay, got it? Right? Now I'm erasing the board. Okay, next one, peptide bond. This is very, very important. Fourth one, peptide bond. Peptide bond. Okay, so this bond present between two successive amino acids in a protein. Two successive amino acids present in a protein. Protein may be enzyme also. Most of the enzymes are proteins. Okay. So this bond is present in a polymer, that is a protein. Okay. So this bond also formed by dehydration. Okay. So what about the bond formation? Simple, I give you. This is alpha carbon atom of first amino acid, methionine. And this one is NH2 group. And this is with formyl group, some chemical, whatever it is. So amino group is blocked by formyl group. Next, CO, OH. Okay, H, NH of next amino acid. R group, hydrogen. R group, hydrogen. Okay, so OH and hydrogen removed in the form of one molecule of H2O. Now the bond is, what about the bond? Here I'm taking carbon CO bond NH bond carbon and continue it. So this bond is called as a peptide bond. That is peptide bond. Okay, is it clear? This is peptide bond. Right? Any objection? Is it clear? Okay. Now I'm erasing the board. Okay, and the remaining part, this is almost end of the chapter, that is dynamic state of okay, 2 or 3 topics pending, that is dynamic state of body constituents, that is concept of metabolism. Concept of metabolism. Okay, so first take what is metabolism? Okay, so what about the definition of metabolism? All biochemical reactions, sum of total of Sum of all biochemical reactions sum of all biochemical reactions taking place or occurring in an organism collectively called as a metabolism. Yes, very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, that is the definition of metabolism. Okay, so what are the types? One, anabolism. Now, what about the statements required for anabolism? Important. What is anabolism? How to define it? What about the definition of anabolism? Anabolism means, first one, it is a biosynthetic pathway. Biosynthetic pathway or metabolic pathway. Okay, biosynthetic pathway. During anabolism, simple compounds converted to complex compounds. Simple to complex. Okay, simple to complex. Next one, it is endergonic reaction. Endergonic reaction. Endergonic. Energy consuming reaction. What is a endergonic reaction? Okay, energy dependent. Energy okay, energy is required. Anabolic reaction, anabolism. So what are the examples? One, photosynthesis. So what are the inorganic components? CO2, H2O into complex H12O6 glucose molecule. Glucose produced or not? This is an unbalanced reaction. Actually 6 CO2, 12 H2O gives rise one glucose molecule. And like that, so many examples are there. Amino acid biosynthesis, protein biosynthesis. Okay, like that, so many examples. Next, second one, catabolism. Okay, so it is concerned with, it is a breakdown reaction. It is not a constructive reaction, breakdown usually. Okay, so in this case, complex convert into simple compounds. Complex to simple compounds. Maximum extent, it is exergonic reaction. Exergonic reaction. So energy producing reaction. Energy producing. Okay, so complex into simple compounds, exergonic reaction. It is a destructive reaction, destruction. Complex into simple. Example, respiration. Okay, so that is about introduction of metabolism. We should know what is a dynamic state of body constituents. We can understand this one by studying metabolism. Okay, is it clear? We will see what is the definition of dynamic state of body constants tomorrow. Okay, today enough. Just we discussed metabolism. What is metabolism? Tomorrow we should know what about dynamic state of body constants. The dynamism of individual depends on body constants. What are the body constants? What is dynamic state of an organism? With the help of concept of metabolism, we can understand what about dynamism of an organism. We'll see that one tomorrow. Okay. Bye. See you. Right. Today enough. We'll see tomorrow. Okay. Bye. See you. Copy this one. Copy this one. Copy it, please. Okay. Copy and leave. Right. Bye. See you.